Blessings and welcome everybody to the masterclass today on how to manifest your dream life and business by sharing your story and focusing on impact. So by the end of the masterclass today, you guys are going to know exactly what my clients did to earn $300,000 a year, buy 11-acre properties, get 2 million investments in just 6 months, and all this living their truth, their calling. Okay. So by the end of this masterclass today, you guys are going to cross over and realize exactly what you need to do to get you where you want to go. Okay. Woo! And I want you to really imagine right now that you've paid me $30,000 because a lot of my clients have to get this information because it is so powerful. So I want you to disconnect from all your other devices and just really tune in. And the more seriously you're going to take this today, the more you're going to get out of it, because this is going to blow your mind. And obviously, I want you to feel like you're a little kid just hanging out with me right now, because this is how normally we do this when we work together. I use the 7F manifesting secrets that I'm about to teach you, I have been able to write and publish 7 books so far. I've been able to live on the beach, to attract my dream clients, to speak on stages, to live in an RV for 2.5 years, to attract my dream relationship, to make music. I have now more than 100 songs, videos, audios, all across streaming platforms. I've started a nonprofit foundations, and most importantly, I have created an online course and a system that generates leads for me. So I'm transforming lives right now while I'm sleeping, and that's what I'm about to teach you. It didn't start out like this though. I remember 6 years old, my mother dragging me by the hair into the bathroom because I didn't want to cut my hair. I remember feeling helpless and powerless. As I was kneeling on the bathroom floor by the bathtub, I peed myself. And that's when I adopted the story that I wasn't good enough. And no matter what I did in life, going and climbing the corporate ladder, making $125,000 a year at the age of 26, driving a brand new Mercedes, living in a high-rise apartment, traveling the world for work, no matter what I did, I never felt like I was fulfilled. And I realized this, that I was not fulfilled when my mom passed away from cancer in 2014. 7 months within diagnosis. She was 49 years old, 50 when she left. So that's when I realized that perhaps there's a reason why my heart is still beating. Perhaps there's something that's making it beat, that's bigger than myself. So I set on the mission to figure out what it is, to figure out what the cause of cancer is, to figure out what my life purpose was, how to be fulfilled. So I left corporate. That's 8 years ago, and I never looked back. That was the turning point, to realize that every day is a gift. I had to figure out what my gift to the world is. So what is my purpose? What is your purpose? This is ultimately what this masterclass is all about. How do we figure it out and then broadcast it out to such a magnitude that every person that needs to hear our message, our truth, that every person that needs to be transformed by our message, by our truth, hears that, so we can create that bigger impact. Okay, so after leaving corporate 8 years ago, I discovered that you rise when you help other people rise. Okay? I discovered that to help others, I must first have to help myself. And I discovered that the more clear the vision is, the more clear what I'm trying to manifest is, the easier it is to manifest it. I discovered systems that help me overcome my challenges and help me get clear focus on the destination and the feeling before the manifestation arrived. And I discovered that the secret to having a balanced, focused life is having that system. is having those goals and being very flexible within achieving them. And when I discovered that when I'm operating from my heart, when I have a destination, when I know why I'm doing what I'm doing, I started to make the biggest impact. And that's how you make the most money. So I discovered this the hard way. And you get the cheat sheet. Whoop! So the hard way is addiction to seminars without implementing what you learn. Okay? It's following too many mentors with different paths and not sticking to one to completion. It's being a good starter, but not a good finisher. Okay? It's not listening to your own inner wisdom. Can anybody relate? Yeah. And the hard way is seeking validation for the genius that you are outside yourself, seeking validation from other people. Okay, so we all can relate to this, right? Yes, so many different paths, so much uncertainty. Yes, yes, yes. Psychedelics, books, workshops, e-learning, certifications, different coaches, right? Yes. And I've learned from many great mentors, from many different psychedelics that have transformed my life. From Anatomy of the Spirit. Anybody? Yeah. From the Emotion Code. Abraham Hicks. Anybody? Yeah. Wayne Dyer. I've done the Landmark Forum. I've done all of Tony Robbins' training. I've gone to Burning Man. Yes, it is very transformational. And yes, I've even learned from Shakira because those hips don't lie. And I have learned from the Holy Bible. I translated the Holy Bible before I understood that it was the Kabbalah, the inner knowings of the self. But I learned from Ted McGrath, from experts like Russell Brunson, the ClickFunnels expert, from Ingrid, from Dan Kennedy, from Myron Golden, and so many more. And from 100 Million author Alex Hormozy. I learned from all of them, but I still wasn't living my dream life. So why wasn't I living my dream life? I've done all the transformational work. I've done all the psychedelics because I didn't fully integrate the lessons that I learned. Okay, and until I put it all together, I wasn't living my dream life. Okay, I wasn't attracting my dream relationship. I wasn't attracting the number in the bank account. I had to put all of this together. And how did I do that? Through writing. That was my creative expression that helped me put everything together. 8 years later, it was an insanity camp. Yes. Those of you who know, anybody write a book? Yeah. It's an insanity camp. And there's different reasons to why people write books. I started writing because I was inspired to share the transformational path, including the psychedelics, including the breath work, the meditation, the affirmations, the Tony Robbins, the Abraham Hicks. I was inspired because I was finding a way to heal myself from all the bullying that I have experienced, both at home with my mother and at school. And I found a way to release and let all of that go, integrating everything that I had ever learned through the writing. So for me, writing was an insanity camp that saved me. Yes. So transformation takes time, yeah? But we don't have to go at it alone, and it doesn't have to take a long time. And how do you keep going? That's like the biggest question. Like, Dasha, how do you keep going? Like, how did you keep writing for all these years? Like, how are you creating this music? Like, how are you attracting this abundance? It's because throughout the writing process, I've created something called 7F manifesting. And it's a visioning process that takes into account every area of your life to help you vision manifesting your best self into being. So the 7F manifesting that I'm about to reveal to you, that started to be my accountability buddy. And that's what helped me succeed, leading every project to the end, from start to finish. So the 7F Manifesting Secrets has also helped many of my clients start their solo line businesses. Like I'll tell you in a second about Vanessa. It helped people create money, tons of money, create courses, travel the world. It's even been used in psychedelic integration circles. It uses a lot of the law of attraction. It helped people sing their songs. It helped people attract their dream partners. It helped people write books. And most importantly, it helped people ground into their body and express themselves, their sensuality. Okay, so earnings disclaimer, not everyone who's listening to this right now is going to start and make $300,000 from the get-go, like one of my clients did that we're about to talk to. Not everyone that's listening to this right now is going to need 8 years to write, but you'll get everything you want if you follow these simple steps. Okay? At first, I just wanted to figure out how to live a better life because my mind was a monster, because I was angry. Then I wanted to figure out how to share that, how to share what I discovered, the path that helped me live a better life and get paid well for it. Now I've created systems, funnels, courses, high tickets that are helping me broadcast my message and at the same time transforming lives because I've learned to believe in myself and I help others believe in themselves too. Exciting, yeah? Yes, yes. So do you want the easy way to overcome the challenges and start marketing yourself online, start broadcasting your story? Promise me that you're not going to use these superpowers for evil, okay? Only for good, right? So the 3 secrets to manifesting your dream life and business by sharing your story and creating that impact are 1, having that clear vision. And with the 7F manifesting system, it's very easy to do. 2 is overcome the challenges that are sabotaging your success with the 7 daily rituals. And 3, how to do your online marketing in such a way that it's a system and you're able to take people through the funnel, charge higher rates, and generate those leads, those people seeking transformation while you sleep. Okay, so secret number 1, drum roll. How to easily create your vision using the 7F manifesting system. So who is this? Yeah, that's Oprah. She says to inspire us is to find our highest and truest form of expression. And how do you do that? Is with vision boards. She says that she swears by vision boards and she's been doing them ever since she started. And who believes that if she can do it, if she can overcome adversity? She had a very poor childhood. One of her children died in infancy. She was just having a really hard time growing up. She was raped. And if she can overcome all of that and put all the pieces of the puzzle together, so can we, right? Yes. And who is this? I love this guy. Yeah, that's Steve Harvey. And he says, I don't know nobody wealthy who don't have a vision board. Yeah, so did you hear that? And who is this guy? Steve Jobs, yes. And he says, remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinion drown out your own inner voice. And most importantly, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. So the 7F manifesting secrets, it helps you put coordinates into your navigation system, much like you're putting coordinates when you go to Whole Foods. When you go to a new destination, you got to input the coordinates into your GPS, right? When you create that clear vision with the 7F manifesting system, that's exactly what you're doing. And then guess what? You'll always get to your destination, right? No matter how many roadblocks there are. You will keep rerouting until you get there. So visioning works exactly the same. No matter what happens in your life, as long as you have a vision and you realize why you want it, you will keep going against all adversity. So manifesting all starts with vision. Okay, and the vision has to be clear and not just in your mind. It has to be in a physical representation. You got to take out what's in here into a physical representation, and that's how you're able to complete books, to get a balance in the bank account that is good for you, to be more free, to be more fulfilled, to have more fun, to have more friends that are fulfilling your heart and soul. Okay, so it all starts with a vision. And recently, I was talking to a friend and I just realized that a vision board is just you, the visioner, selling the vision, your own vision, to yourself. Think about it. Think about it. The more clear you become with your vision every single day by really using a push pin or a PowerPoint presentation, the more downloads you have, because it becomes more and more clear. You're selling your vision to yourself until you wake up in the middle of your vision. And it's never going to manifest how you think it's going to manifest. But you became aligned with that which you want, and the universe does the rest. Okay? Woo! So far, so good? Yeah. So some people say they want abundance. Okay. What does that really mean? Is it $1,000 in your bank account this week? Is it $10,000 this month? Is it $100,000 a month? Is it $1 million this year? What is it? If you're not specific, then the universe is going to give you what it gives you. And then you're going to be like, what the fuck? Right? So some people say, I want my own business. Okay. What kind of business? What really lights you up? What are people willing to pay money for? What does it look like? Do you see yourself speaking on a stage in front of how many people? Do you see yourself speaking in a circle of healers? What is it? Okay. So once you start realizing what it is, you start realizing that you become a vibrational match with the things that you want. And in business, I want to open you up to a new perspective. When you start thinking about what you want, I want to welcome you to ask yourself a different question. Instead of what you want to manifest, I want you to start asking yourself who you want to manifest. Shift perspective into who. Who is that person that would be so easy and so fun for you to work with that it's not going to feel like work, that it's going to feel like play? And how many of those people do you want to serve? How many of those who's do you want to serve? Because if you step away from what, let's say your what is financial abundance, and let's say it's $1 million. Okay, who are the people who you can serve? And what kind of high ticket offers can you create for them to help them have the biggest transformation of their life as a result of you making that offer? So now all of a sudden you don't need 1 million people, right? Now you need 100 or 50, depending on whatever your offer is, but you don't need that many people. If you start to focus on who, you start to focus on the people who are waiting for your offers, that because you haven't presented them, they can't buy them. Okay, so people can't buy offers that you haven't presented because you haven't gained clarity into what manifesting is by focusing on who and their level of transformation. Okay, so since learning to use the 7F manifesting secrets, I've learned how to create those deliberate visions. And so did my clients, by focusing on who they want to serve, focusing on the impact. So we already did the dance, so we're going to skip that. And I want you guys to listen to Vanessa real quick.
When I was going through all of this and meeting Dasha, it wasn't just no little project or like, this is my soul's mission. it's something inside of my heart and my soul that it's just calling to me, and every day it's just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, it's been a wild ride, and I definitely needed her guidance and her wisdom with this whole awakening experience. It's a whole new world that I've tapped into. And she was like, I'm doing this 7-week program. I need to do it. And that's what I'm ready for. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to excel in my company. It hasn't even been 1 year yet, and my company is grossing $300,000. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I feel like I already know that I'm meant to live in abundance, to help families. I'm a giver. Like, I just want to give in the biggest way. And when I mean that, I want to start foundations. I want to feed. I want to clothe. When I was going.
Who here says Vanessa's awesome? Yes, yes, yes. And when Vanessa came to me, she was actually living in a trailer. Okay, so she needed to do an IOU, but I could sense the fire in her. And what she does is she actually helps the elderly. And now she started Alma Wellness, a wellness center from her 11 acres that she just bought. And it's only been about 1.5 years. So who here agrees that she's inspired? Yes, because she's operating completely in spirit. And when you operate in spirit, there's no limits, and you crush all your salary ceilings. So she shifted her focus. She helps the elderly because she saw that the system was corrupt, that the elderly were not being taken care of in a good way. So she focused on what was meaningful, not the money. And the money followed. Woo! Yeah. So secret number 2, grab a little sip of water, everybody. How to overcome those challenges, okay? The challenges that are sabotaging your success. Those old patterns, okay? Using the 7 daily rituals. So what's the biggest challenge, loves? Distractions. Yes. Distractions are the killers of all dreams and goals. Okay, all these distractions create FOMO, and then we forget what we were doing in the first place. So I want to welcome you to consider something called the power of focus, and how to start focusing on one thing at a time by using the reticular activating system. So what is the reticular activating system, you may ask, Dasha? A reticular activating system is when you start to focus on one thing at the exclusion of everything else. So if you start thinking of a white Tesla, for example, then you start to see in the world around you that white Tesla, white Tesla, white Tesla all around, right? Why? Because you are using reticular activating system. And that is what happens when you have a vision, and the more clear it becomes. And when you take it out from your head into a physical representation, you activate your reticular activating system, and then you start you start to notice things that you didn't previously notice right around you, because you are tuned in, turned on to the things that you truly desire. Okay? So that's what reticular activating system is. When you get clarity, and you start to focus, and you start to repeat the same thing over and over and over again, you start to tune in to the things that you actually want. And this is what the 7 daily rituals in the 7F Manifesting Academy and course help you do, is to overcome those challenges. And in the 7 daily rituals, you're actually starting the visioning process. Okay? So you look at your 7F Manifesting vision board. You do your meditation. You do your forgiveness practices that release and let go of everything that's stuck, that doesn't belong. Okay, you do your gratitude journal. You write 3 deliberate actions every day toward your vision. You set clear intentions to bless everybody who you pass, to give and receive all day, and to acknowledge divine synchronicities. You set your fitness food routine at the beginning of the day, and you do your I am affirmations in the mirror. And this is how you create focus with a vision board and flow within the focus. Okay? So meet my beautiful sister, Masha. Here's a couple words she had to say.
Hello, this is a review for Dasha Love, my sister. I have left many reviews, but I would like to leave another one because now I got my first 20K client, and I wanted to share how she helped me break the barrier and the belief that we need to act small and be small and, charge less. Let me go back a little bit. So my sister and I started to organize wellness events like 8 years ago when our mother first passed away. And we thought that wellness should be accessible to all, and it should. And we still think that. We still host community events, and it was all donation based. And for the longest time in my mind, I thought that it was not possible to heal people or provide healing and wellness events and be comfortable financially. So I left the job, and then I had to get another job, corporate job, while at the same time trying to be a yoga and meditation teacher and provide wellness. Fast forward to about 6 months ago, I hired my first coach. It was not my sister at first. Well, I did hire my sister first, but my first coach, and she broke me and made me realize that the healing we are providing, the services we're providing, is valuable. And then a couple months later, I hired my sister and realized that money is just energy, and it is overflowing and abundant. And now I'm at 30K in my first month after quitting my corporate job, and I'm making such a difference in people's lives. It's incredible. It's really incredible. I feel nourished and powerful, and I feel like I'm providing nourishment and power and helping the awakening of this beautiful earth. So if you feel called, if you feel like you have...
Woo! Amazing, right? Yes. So within 3 weeks, she ended up getting 2 clients. Okay. She broke her salary ceilings. She used to make $1,500 a month for her wellness practices for 8 years. And then she got 2 clients and she got to 30K. Okay. So this is how fast it happens when you adopt somebody else's belief, which in this instance is your coach, which was me. So what's the difference between mindset and identity? Now, I'm going to show you 2 pictures and ask you a question real quick. So raise your hand. First, let me tell you the scenario. So one rose, the rose to the left, is spray painted blue. As you can see, it's been spray painted all over. But some parts of it you can still see that it was white once, right? The other rose, second rose, the one on the right, has been giving blue dye from the very bottom, from the beginning, with the water, from the start as it grew. So one of these is mindset and one of these is identity. So now, who here thinks that mindset is that first picture, the one that was spray painted blue? Raise your finger, one. Okay. Okay, and who here thinks that mindset is the second picture, the rose that was given dye from the water from the start? Raise your finger. Okay. Now, identity. Who here thinks that the first rose that was spray painted blue is identity? Okay. And who here thinks that identity is the second rose? Okay. So the first rose is actually mindset. The second rose is identity. So if you're working on your mindset, but on an identity level, you haven't fully embodied who you are, what you do, that level of income that you feel in resonance with, then anything that you do on mindset level is like that rose that is being spray painted blue. Okay. So when we shift and we realize on an identity level who we are, what we are here to do, what our value is, what we are worth, that drives our action. Okay, so here are the layers of beliefs, habits, and identity. Okay, so your core beliefs is your conscious or subconscious. These are the underlying beliefs, is how you see the universe and yourself in it. Okay, what you do every day, like I mentioned, the 7 daily rituals, they are your habits. And your habits make who you are. They help you shift on an identity level. And what is your identity? Your identity is how you see the world and how the world sees you, how others see you. Okay, so before others can see you the way that you see yourself from the inside, you must first see yourself from the inside. Okay, so your outer must catch up with your inner in order to have balance and equilibrium. Make sense? So we were going to dance, and that's what a huge part of the course is, but I'm just going to go through it because we got a couple more things to cover today. Who here agrees that the path to transformation is about taking massive inspired actions? Yes. Yes. And those massive inspired actions are habits. And habits are learned in the same way. Good habits, healthy habits are learned in the same way that unhealthy habits are learned, through daily practice, right? So I want to let you in on a little secret. And this may blow your mind. Lean in a little closer. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Every reality you want already exists all around you. And what does that mean? All you have to do is tune into it. So this means that everything that you want to do in this life is already present all around you, all your dreams. Now, all you have to do is tune into one at a time in order to become a vibrational match with it. In order to spot it, hear the answers that are all around you, attract the end result, because you're focusing on one thing at a time. Okay? So think about that for a second. Like, think about that. The reason why people don't experience a high level of success is because they keep trying different things. They never focus on one thing all the way until completion. They don't give the universe enough time to actually show them that they can have this thing. Okay? So remember, every reality already exists. You just got to tune into it one at a time. Cool, right? And now secret number 3. Woo! Shake it off, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. How to charge these higher rates and how to use online marketing systems to really crush those salary ceilings, to generate more leads, transform more lives, and have a bigger, massive impact. Woo! Who's with me? Yeah, impact. Yes, yes, yes. So what is marketing? Marketing is nothing but sharing your story, your message, your skills louder and louder, creating a bigger impact. That's all it is. So when you realize that marketing is being of service because you are providing your skills, your story, the ways that you healed yourself to the world, is nothing more than service. That's when you experience a lot of sales. When you realize that sales is service, because otherwise people would not be able to transform their lives if you don't sell to them. If you are not in their face, then they're never going to transform their lives. Okay, if guys like Tony Robbins don't do a great job at marketing and advertising online, then people wouldn't attend their events. They wouldn't experience a high level of transformation. Okay, so 70% of great offers are written before they even make it online. Before a single word has been written on a piece of paper, your offering has already been created. Okay? And it's all about having the right message to the right market using the right method, the right medium. What do I mean by that? If you notice that people are interacting with you on Facebook, then you got to market on Facebook. Okay, if you notice that people are starting to watch your stuff on Instagram, then you gotta market on Instagram. If you start to notice it on YouTube, then you gotta do it on YouTube. But choose your path and follow through. Create the messaging to the people who are already following you, where you're noticing more and more people coming to you. Okay. And you got to have the right market, like I mentioned. And what does it mean to have the right market? You've got to know your customer avatar. Your customer avatar is just you broadcasting out to your old self. So it's just your old self who's a few steps behind, who needs the expertise that you now have. So the more clear you can get about this customer avatar, and this is what I provide you guys in my courses, in my academy, is this template to really get clarity on that customer avatar. Like, what does this person that you are speaking to want right now? What are all of their desires? What do they secretly want? Like, what are their pain points? Like, what keeps them up at night? Because when you can get clear exactly to who you are speaking to, guess what? You're always speaking to that one person. And through one person, the entire world changes. So when you get clear on this, and I give you templates on how to create this inside of the course, then it's easy to talk. It's easy to create messaging toward this one person. Okay, and we go in depth into who this person is, what type of people they're connected with, because all it takes is one. You create a transformation in this one person, they are your superstar. You charge this one person $30,000 to have a massive transformation in their life. Guess what? They'll bring you all their friends. So it's not about the nickel and dime. It's about figuring out who your avatar is and then going out and serving them hard by creating these higher and higher offers for them. So what is the biggest transformation that you could help your ideal client with? What is the biggest transformation that you can take somebody on? What is the biggest result you can have for somebody? That's what people ultimately want, is the result. It's not about having money objections. It's about, are they willing to pay for that result or not? So when you start focusing, flipping the coin on impact, having a higher transformation and the people that are willing, able, and ready to pay for the results, then it changes the game. It switches the script. So let me ask you a question real quick. Would you go out there and find the cheapest heart surgeon? It's an important question, right? What would you assume? That if they're the cheapest, they're probably not that good. So why do you create offers that put you in the same category? So this is how you reach your perfect target demographic. I did the legwork for you here. It's through Facebook ads, and we've cracked the Facebook ad game. So we have $1.50 per lead now for people that want to manifest their dream life and business, coming straight from Facebook advertising. We've got Instagram advertising. You do email campaigns. It's nurturing campaigns. We have a 27 email sequence. You do direct messaging. People really like the direct messaging path right now. You do a webinar, just like the one you're watching right now. You create a masterclass for people who are ready to ascend, because when they spend at least 60 minutes with you, they'll be willing to spend money with you. And the more time people spend with you, the more money they're going to spend with you. That's just how it works. You got to show them and show them and show them value. And then everything inside of their bones are going to say, she's the one for me. She's going to help me. Okay, so from all the marketing avenues that you go fishing online, that you broadcast your message, that you are flashing, here I am, neon sign, I can help you. You bring them into a video sales letter. And I'll talk in a second what that is. So a video sales letter where it explains about your product and what you help people do and gets them on a quick call. Then you sell them on low ticket items, because sometimes people want to get to know you. So you give them something for free, something for $7, $47, $197. And they get to know you, and then they want more. Okay, so when they get to know you after the video sales letter, the low ticket, then you have an appointment setter that sets 15-minute appointment to talk to an upsell caller. Okay. So it's a whole strategy. It's a system in the back end. And that is how you have a business. Because if you don't have constant leads coming in, if you're not broadcasting your message, you don't have a business. It's a hobby. Okay. If once in a while you have events with people and that's how you get paid, it's not a business. It's a hobby. When you create a system online that works for you and you know what to do to broadcast your message, so that way your champions, your heroes, those who are ready to have their success story with you come to you, and then you know how to work with them from the point of them getting to know you to the point of them becoming a client, you succeed. But the most important part is that you always start with the end in mind. How many people you want to serve, how much money you want to make. Okay, so if you look at it, it's the ascension, and I flipped the chart. So always start with the end in mind, and then create all the offers with the end in mind, knowing that 80% of your revenue, 80% of the people who are going to have the biggest transformation is going to come from 20% of the people. Okay, and this is what it looks like. The same kind of chart, except I wrote out a little bit differently. So the same thing from Instagram, Facebook, emails, and in-person live events, they're coming into your funnel, into your webinars, into your low tickets, into your video sales letter, where they're getting an appointment for 15 minutes and they're getting upsold to your high ticket items. Okay. And if they haven't bought, or if they just bought the low ticket item, then you put them on a 6-week email campaign. And this is what an ascension, customer ascension looks like. And this is the most important thing. That's what you need to know. Those 4 things you need to know in business. If you know nothing else, you're going to succeed. Is 1, how to generate leads. If you can generate leads, you will have business. You will have sustainable business. You will have a business for the rest of your life if you know how to generate those leads, right? If you know how to convert those leads, that's 2, by creating a better sales message. Okay, and the better the sales message, the better the conversions are. The more you can be vulnerable, the more you can build trust. Create those webinars, create those free things. Okay, so you convert those leads that are coming in. Then you create customer ascension, those high ticket offers, those high transformation. Okay, the one-on-one or the group coaching, and also the live events if you love doing live events. And then customer retention. What is a continuity product that you can give to your customers, so that way month after month they are just on this program and it continuously bring in revenue just like a gym does. So this is how you create bigger and bigger impact using this ascension pyramid. And it all starts, you see, like chakras from the bottom. They're getting to know you. You give them free stuff, low ticket items. Then you create a do-it-yourself. And I'm going to talk to you about that later in this presentation. But you have a do-it-yourself product that's up to like $2,000. Then you do with you up to like $3,000, done for you $5,000, and super exclusive $15,000 plus. It's all about you. And the moment you stop thinking of, let's say, 15,000, 20,000, 30,000, 100,000 is a lot of money, then you're going to start creating these kinds of offers. Because you got to remember that there's a lot of people in the world, and we don't need to transform everybody, and we're not here for everybody. We're going to appeal to the few that resonate on our frequency, and they're going to want to walk with us all the way. Okay, transforming their lives, broadcasting their message, really creating these big movements that give back. All right, so far so good. And this is what we were just recently creating for a client that has a $10 million game plan. This type of ascension pyramid, and this is what I want you to look at. So this is for somebody who is on the path to creating $10 million this year. And this is what the ascension pyramid looks like, with 10,000 qualified leads, which we can get for like, I don't know, $30,000. Okay, so the leads would come in through an opt-in page, normally from Facebook or Instagram through a video sales letter, and they would get into our system. And our system would create tags. It would create opportunities, send them texts, emails, and start nurturing those leads. Okay, and all these leads are going to receive a video sales letter. And what's a video sales letter? It's a video presentation that grabs attention, highlights the problem that you're currently, the customer that you have is currently experiencing. What is that problem that they have, and how you can solve it. It has to speak to an emotional level and drive home the importance that the issue is not going to change unless the individual takes action now. Okay? So if from 10,000 qualified leads, you've got 40% of them, which is conservative, usually more, buy a $37 product, then you're at $148,000. If you've got from 10,000 qualified leads, 20% upsell to a $197 product, which is $200, nothing, right? You got $400,000. Okay, and what if you create an offering that's $2,000 and only 5% of those people buy it, which is 500 people? You're at $1 million. Okay, so I want you to see how easy it is to get to $1 million. Okay, so then what if you take these people that you just gave a do-it-yourself offer and you offer them a group coaching for $8,000? And only 4% of them buy. That's $3.2 million. What if you created even bigger exclusive offers for one-to-one from $25,000 to $100,000 and do a bunch of stuff or do it for them? So as you can see, it's not hard to get to $1 million, and it's not hard to pass the $1 million if you have a really good ascension model. So far, so good. And here's Aya.
Dasha Love. Dasha is a rock star of a human and a coach. She's that person who, no matter when you need her, how you need her, she is going to show up in the biggest way, but in all the ways that you exactly need. She is beyond intuitive and is so grounded in who she is with herself that she's able to spread so much knowledge and wealth and insight into blind spots and maybe in places that you can't see within yourself. I'm telling you from personal experience, Dashi is the person who held me by the hand to get me out of my head and into purpose by breaking down belief systems, by putting me on a proper routine, by getting me to a place where I have a completely finished product course that is ready for the world. That's in full alignment for who I am and my purpose. And it would not have been completed or finished, or I would not have been able to hold myself accountable, in all honesty, to get to the place where I needed to be within myself and in all the places. And Dasha is the one who was able to get me there. Without her, I would not be where I am. And so my love and appreciation and gratitude for everything Dasha is and how she shows up for other people is beautiful to witness and to see how she shines so brightly, and it just like ripples out to the ones she chooses to work with, because also Dashi is particular, and you have to be ready to work with her because she will hold you accountable. And the biggest thing with Dash is she will hold you accountable. She'll push you to your edges of where you know, maybe you don't know, but she knows that you can go there. So she'll push you to your own edges of the greatest version of yourself. And that's what Dashi does for me and what she did for me. And that's why I am where I am within my work and within my practice. So Dashi, I love you, sister. And thank you for everything that you've done for me, with me, to get me to this newer, evolved version of self. I thank you, and I swear I would not have been able to do this without you. But you know that. If anybody is considering working with Dash, figure out what you need. Accountability is what she is great at, and she will figure out a solution. She is great at finding solutions, and whatever you need, she can do. She's one of these people who is so multifaceted, that she serves people on so many levels, whether it's like the consciousness, the belief systems, the actual integration of systems within your company, like all the ways. So I love you. And I, again, like beyond grateful for us coming together and being able to do the work we have. Thank you.
Woo! Yeah, she's amazing. She was a yachty actually until I took a hold of her and then realized that she was already healing people with her life purpose, but she wasn't charging the money or she was charging very little. So we upped her game, high ticket offers, created the webinar, created the ebook, got the course going, and it was so much fun. So your story is what changes the world. Okay, so your story is the key to unlocking somebody else's prison. And I want you to remember that, because nobody is like you. And if there's something inside of you that is like, this is my moment, this is my time to have a bigger impact, then I am here. And you got to trust. You have to trust that inner knowing. Okay, and with Aya, we created that high ticket offer. Okay, we created her online courses, her online business. We created the big ebook. We started to generate leads, and you can go check her out at lovepsoriasis.com. And she actually came and she did a lot of stuff with me in person, which was so cool. I set her up in my studio, my playground, and she recorded her entire course. We set her entire webinar, and she was just in and out. And like within a couple weeks, she was on live. Okay. I also do group coaching, super fun. That is my playground, my green screen and recording equipment. Yeah, so I want you all to close your eyes for a second. Just let all of that sink in. Okay? I want you to imagine what it would be like to wake up every morning knowing that you are creating a massive impact on a bigger scale. I want you to imagine what it would be like for you to wake up, get messages, SMSs, emails, ting, 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 that your bank account has grown. And thank you, 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 thank you from people all around the world whose lives you transformed. It's very real, and it can happen in an instant if you're ready to make the move, becoming obsessed with creating a bigger impact.